The Scar from 1976 is the first feature film made by Krzysztof Kieślowski that was distributed in cinemas. And it's a film that Kieślowski himself was very critical of. He said that it was his failure. Well, we can see now that it wasn't a failure. I mean, it's definitely not up there with the greatest masterpieces like Camera Buff or Blind Chance, but it is a very interesting film. The film basically tells a story that Kieślowski told many times in his documentaries, like The Bricklayer and also like The Curriculum Vitae. It tells a story of a newly appointed director of an industrial plant that is about to be built in a rural area of Poland. It's actually inspired by the plant built in the city of Puławy. When the movie was shot, the screenplay was based on a reportage that appeared in one of the Polish newspapers, and Kieślowski wanted to show the clash of idealism of this director who has been appointed to the post with the hard reality of everyday life in the rural area. Basically, there's a conflict with the local community, and the director, played by the affable and amiable Franciszek Pieczka, tries to mediate between different sides of the conflict. And this is the quintessentially Kieślowskian character, the director of the factory who tries to mediate between the different factions, between the people and the party. You will see the same kind of character in A Short Day of Work, for example. Kieślowski is sympathetic to the director, but he also shows his efforts as futile, because really the system itself and the way it's managed, it's corrupted in many ways. So even though there is this idealism and also some pragmatism in the main character of Bednarz, ultimately his story ends in frustration. He really cannot fight against the reality that is faulty at its very basis. So the film is quite mournful in its tone, but it's very interesting visually. It shows you this realistic take on how a party meeting looks like, how a Polish factory is being built looks like. Bednarz, the main character played by Pieczka, is probably the most sympathetically portrayed party member and also factory director in Polish cinema, and yet you fully believe in him. You feel his humanity, you also feel his conflict with his daughter that he has at some point. The movie was shot by Sławomir Idziak, a later collaborator of Kieślowski and also Oscar nominee. And the film, after all those years, is a very interesting document of the time and also a very interesting document of how Kieślowski is becoming a feature-length fictional filmmaker. So The Scar is really a portrayal of a state in a deep crisis, but the crisis is not yet fully acknowledged.